Okay, I'd like to call to order this meeting of the First5 Sacramento Commission for November 4th, 2024. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll and establish a quorum?
Yes, sir. Chair Sarna.
Here.
Commissioner Wesley.
Here.
Commissioner Fernandez y Garcia, not here today. Commissioner Gordon.
Here.
Commissioner Casirier.
Here.
Commissioner Katari.
Here.
Commissioner Kennedy. No. Commissioner Hassett.
Here.
Commissioner Williams.
Here.
Commissioner Evans.
Here.
Commissioner Groves.
Here.
Commissioner Calles.
Here.
Thank you. And Commissioner Moak.
Here.
Thank you. We have quorum.
Very good. If you'd like to read our statement, now would be the time.
This meeting of the First5 Sacramento Commission is live and recorded with closed captioning. It is cablecast on Metro Cable Channel 14, the Local Government Affairs channel on the Comcast and DirecTV Uverse cable systems. It is also live streamed at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Today's meeting replays Friday, November 8th at 2 p.m. on Metro Cable Channel 14. Once posted, the recording of this meeting can be viewed on demand at youtube.com Metro Cable 14.
Very good. Thank you. Will you please rise and join Commissioner Calles in leading us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like again to welcome everyone to this afternoon's and this month's meeting of the First5 Sacramento Commission. Again, we invite anyone that hopes or wishes to address the commission on any item on the agenda or off the agenda. We welcome that. We do ask that you please complete a speaker slip and give that to our clerk, and I will call your name in the order that I receive those slips. We do ask that you keep your testimony to 3 minutes or less so that everyone who wants to address the commission has that opportunity to do so. So with that, our first item.
Item number 1, approval of October 7, 2024 draft action summary.
All right, very good. Any member of the commission wish to pull or amend the draft action summary? If not, I'd entertain a motion. Chair will move.
Second.
Is that second by Dr. Kasiri? Okay, very good. Roll call vote, please.
Chair Serna.
Aye.
Commissioner Wesley.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Gordon.
Aye.
Commissioner Casirier.
Aye. Sorry.
Commissioner Katari.
Aye.
Commissioner Moak.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Very good, thank you. All right, next item, please.
Item number 2, public comments on off-agenda items.
All right, again, this is the public's opportunity to address the commission on any item that is not on our published agenda. I am not in receipt of any speaker slips, nor do I see anyone approaching the podium. I will assume that there is no such interest, so we will move on to the next item, please.
Item number 3, recognition of Commissioner Calles.
All right. Michelle, will you join me at the podium?
She just gave a look.
I told her not to do this.
Whoever you told, we got to them second. So,
Be insistent. So, fellow commissioners and members of the public, those that may be watching, I wanted to present what I believe to be is a very well-deserved resolution on behalf of our First5 Commission, but one that's also very difficult for me to give, because I've had the good fortune of not just serving and working alongside Michelle in our capacity here as fellow commissioners, but certainly in my tenure on the Board of Supervisors and her tenure in various capacities with the County of Sacramento over several years. And while we certainly wish her well in retirement, we hate to see her go, and she brings, I think you would all agree, a very necessary, unique perspective to the work of this commission and the advancement of our mission. But I do want to read into the record the various whereases and the resolution, and offer the podium to Michelle if she'd like to offer any comments. So this is a resolution honoring Commissioner Michelle Calles for her dedicated service on the First 5 Sacramento Children and Families Commission. Whereas on this day, November 4th, 2024, Michelle Calles is being recognized for serving as a First 5 Sacramento Commissioner since 2022. And whereas Michelle Calles' extensive background in decreasing child abuse and neglect has guided the Commission's ongoing local investment in family empowerment while improving access to crucial family services. And whereas through Michelle Calles' leadership at the Department of Child, Family, and Adult Services, DCFAS, is First 5's largest collaborator for creating sustainable systems improvement by leveraging existing resources from the county's general fund to braid funding for the following: expanding Birth and Beyond at 9 family resource centers to serve children ages 16 to 17, covering the cost for all Birth and Beyond court-ordered parenting classes, and expanding the Parent Leadership Training Institute Parent Advocacy Program. And whereas Michelle Calles worked tirelessly to develop key programs aimed at reducing African American child deaths and leading DCFAS's role in the in the development of the Black Child Legacy Campaign. This collective impact community-wide partnership has led to reductions in infant sleep-related deaths, deaths due to perinatal condition, and deaths caused by child abuse and neglect, resulting in national recognition as a model for preventative systems change. And whereas Michelle Calles played a critical role in the development of Safe Sleep Baby 2.0, which changed the way that DCFAS serves all families that come to the attention of child welfare by ensuring parents and guardians are offered education on how to safely sleep their baby. And whereas under Michelle Calles' direction, DCFAS worked with the Child Abuse Prevention Council to create the Sacramento County Prevention Cabinet, a county-wide collaboration focused on eliminating child abuse deaths and near fatalities through a multidisciplinary child-family well-being system, thus broadening the capacity for systems change through the Child Safety Forward initiative. And whereas Michelle Calles worked to uplift the vision of First 5 to promote optimal health and development, narrow disparities, and improve the lives of all children, prenatal through age 5, and their families. And now, therefore, be it resolved that First 5 Sacramento hereby extends its sincere appreciation to Michelle Calles for her efforts and commitment to serving vulnerable and underserved populations, and offers our heartfelt thanks for improving the overall quality of life for young children and families. Presented this day, November 4th, 2024.
I can't believe it's only been 2 years since I've been on this. Yeah, you didn't stalk me sooner, Julie. It's interesting because when I first started as child welfare deputy back in 2012, I'd always heard of First 5. I wasn't getting the complete connection. I'm a little slow, so it took me a couple of years. And then Julie and I started connecting, and it's like, what kind of good trouble can we get into? And really, because my heart has always been with prevention, it was a natural segue into after we got out of all the crises when I initially started. And this is the work that I'm probably going to miss most. Ooh, why'd you do that, Phil? Because investing in our littles and their families, it promotes protective factors. You all know it strengthens families, and when we have strong families, we have strong communities. So this part I'm going to miss, all the prevention work, and really want to recognize the commitment of this commission. Over the years, even prior to participating, just seeing the depth of the work that is done, that you've all led, many of you for many years, and the impact it's had on our community. I think we're really fortunate to have such a strong First 5 Commission here, so thank you all for that.
So I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to start with our executive director.
Thank you. Great. So I feel like I'm not only losing a commissioner, but such a good friend, too. I know. Great friendship. I'm not sure what I'm going to do without having you in every second or third meeting that I attend, Michelle, as MS meetings do. And you mentioned just like your focus on prevention, and I've been around the block. I've worked in several counties, and I think like Sacramento County is so unique because of your leadership. You understand prevention. You get it in a way that your peers don't always do. And because of that, you've really built the bridge between First 5 and child welfare, and that did not exist before. So just like my sincere gratitude for that. And then I just have to say, like, you're so hilarious too, that you could be in like these really intense meetings or something is, it's very serious business that you do, that we all do. And you just bring the levity and the humor and make everything better in those meetings. So I appreciate you. I'm going to miss you so much. And if you're bored in retirement, just kind of circle back to us. You'll always have a seat at the First 5 table.
Others? Beth.
Oh, I'm going to miss you, Michelle. So Michelle and I were both at Weave in 1995. And back then, everybody had to answer our crisis line for 4 hours each week. And she was an associate therapist, and I was the director of development. And we did every Tuesday from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And when we had volunteers, we'd go buy them lattes because, you had a volunteer and we didn't have to do it. And I remember when she left for CPS and came back to visit, and she's like, yeah, Beth, my job now is like to open people's refrigerators and make sure there's really milk in that carton. And just a whole new world of being out there in the CPS world. And I'll miss you. I'll miss your voice. You'll have to call me occasionally just to say something to me. Thank you for taking everything you learned at Weave and just infusing it into everything in our community. Thank you.
Commissioner Moak.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to hear you go back that far with Michelle. I, too, have my early career memories with the one and only Michelle Callejas, where we spent lots of time in room 7 at Prairie Elementary School back in the late 90s. I was a home visitor in a program called Title 4B, which was a CPS program, poorly designed. Luckily, smart people like you and others redesigned it to be ultimately Birth and Beyond. That's where Birth and Beyond was what it was born from. But Michelle she probably doesn't remember this, but I had a caseload of families that I would go and visit on a weekly basis. And I was new to it, and she was always so calm and so helpful and supportive, and kind of what you said, Julie, about just brings like a different vibe to a answer or a meeting or just any kind of interaction, which makes sense why you've been so successful where you've been, everywhere you've been, including the hardest job in America, in my opinion, which is where you've been. And so you deserve all the retirement joy and love and trips, because what you came into, many of us remember that, what you had to do immediately was not for the fare of heart, and how quickly you were able to transform an industry in this town. It was really magical to see that, and any of us who knew you were so proud and honored to be part of your path, and having you here has just been fantastic. And I'm excited to see what comes next for you. But man, amazing job on behalf of literally millions of families, people in this region. I mean, you've done an amazing job. So, thank you,
Commissioner Gordon.
Michelle, on behalf of myself and SCOE and our SCOE team, I also just want to say thanks for all that you've done, and we go back to working when I was in the Elk Grove School District. Nancy Hirota, my deputy, was one of the leaders in the Healthy Start program, and you brought that forward. And I also want to give a shout out to our county leadership, because the things we've been able to do in collaboration with the county, the things we've been able to do in collaboration with you, and up to today, we just had a debrief meeting to talk about the welcome centers and how we could better support them. It's really good to have a culture of collaboration where we're on the same page, we're working together, and prevention is the thing we've got to keep working on. So Michelle, you've taken us a long way, and we will miss you. But like Julie said, you're around. Yes. We know you're around. So anyway, all the best to you.
Thank you.
Dr. Kasiri.
Well, Michelle, we started at around the same time, 2012, and I really appreciate the collaboration that we have had. I think you've heard it said over and over again, collaboration and heart for prevention. And I really appreciated that about you, and the fact that we were able to have our departments and divisions working together to improve the outcomes for children who enter the foster care system. I appreciate that, and I'll remember you for that, and you'll be greatly missed. And I guess I'll repeat what Julie said, you're not too far away. So.
You just lined up like 4 consulting jobs right there.
So thank you again for all of your support. Actually, I wanted to say one other thing that will always stick with me is you and Julie were presenting I think it was before the Board of Supervisors, and you were talking about the challenges with the foster care system, and you called out racism. And that was the first time that I had heard it being called out that way, as one of the challenges that we have to face and confront. And I know that was bold, but I appreciated that you recognized that and that you were willing to actually call it out. And I've seen the work that you've done, both you and Julie, in terms of putting up programs and systems to address it. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mr. Qatari.
Yeah, so I get to say goodbye to Michelle a few more times, so I'll keep mine short, other than to say, those of you who are talking, you already know that Michelle is one of the fiercest advocates for children and families and individuals and adults and aging adults and adults with disabilities that you could ever find. And your shoes are going to be, even though they're tiny in real life, they're going to be huge to fill, and we'll never quite fill them. I think Scott said it well, you're one of a kind. I just have appreciated, for those of you who know, Michelle's part of our social services team, and our team has been working to break down silos and make sure that we're seamlessly working together across our department so that nobody falls through the cracks. And Michelle's voice can often be heard the loudest as the one who's tearing those silos down. And so I will miss you so much, and I just want you to know that, like everyone else, I'll be reining you back in for different things after I give you a little chance to rest. But thank you so much for your service to everyone.
Okay. Well, if there's no further comments, and I think all of yours were well taken by both of us. I couldn't have said it better myself in terms of your various relationships and what Michelle has meant to us as a commission, to us as a county, and to each of us individually. So what I'd like to do is have you all join us in the pit here, and we'll take a group photo.
And Ashley, you're welcome for all the work I've sent your way.
And by the way, Michelle, I wanted to rename the commission the Littles Commission of Sacramento, but the state didn't want that. So.
wasn't naming them after you.
I have gotten shorter over the years. All the littles in front.
Oh, you're gonna have to scrunch.
Good? Everybody good? Okay, I'll just keep snapping. You just keep smiling. Good. Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you. What was that yet?
All right. Our next item, please.
Item number 4, Executive Director's Report.
Good afternoon. A couple highlights for you from this month's report. I'm going to start with talking about the 25th anniversary Power Building Summit on November 14th. I'm happy to report that we have 10 of our 13 commissioners are going to be there in person to really bring the energy. Well, we've got Commissioner Moak to really bring the energy as our MC. We're very grateful. And as I mentioned, we have Chair Cerna is on a panel of 4 commissioners who's going to be talking about some of that blending and braiding work that we've done with the county and First5 over the years, highlighting BCLC, but also a lot of our other projects too. So it's going to be a good time. And really excited about getting quality time out of this room with all of you in just a different way. And then as far as our racial equity, diversity, and inclusion updates, Stephanie McElmore-Bray is here, and we'll talk later on the agenda about our participatory grant-making process update. And I just wanted to share something really cool that we're doing as part of our external ready work with our funded partners. We've partnered with Commissioner Wesley's group called Black ECE, and we've ordered culture kits, Black family culture kits. There are 4 different kits, and each kit highlights like a different topic. There's, I have my notes, a celebration of food kit, affirming Black cultural foods, a hair heritage pride kit, affirming unique hair textures and styles within the Black community and culture. There's a melanin magic kit to talk about the varying tones and hues of Black people's skin and skincare and children's books. And then there's a Juneteenth and music with poetry and music represented within Black culture. And so our family resource centers, our funded partners are going to receive kits from us as an incentive to bring in, recruit, and retain African American families into the programs. We will bring kits to the next meeting just so we can share them with you, and you can see they are just beautiful, and really excited about them, and thank you, Commissioner Wesley, for making that happen. We like to highlight a couple of our parent leaders at each meeting in the ED report. This month, I wanted to share 2 of our parents from the last PLTI cohort, Keisha Harris and Justin Margolis. They both received the little micro grants to further their projects. And Keisha's project, she wanted a professional development and did a grant writing course to help build her nonprofit called July Forward, which is a community gardening and healthy eating project. And then Justin completed the Nurturing Fathers curriculum to strengthen his training skills, and he is opening his own nonprofit for Father Engagement Network in Sac County. So just some cool stuff happening with our alumni. You have probably seen me hitting you up about the SAC Family Connect in-person summit that is happening in a couple of weeks. This is the first time that SAC Family Connect is all getting together in one room since we created it in 2020. We have all kinds of partners. County partners, our funded partners, community-based agencies that don't receive funding from us but are serving our families. It's just really exciting to host this. We currently right now have over 100 folks already on the list and registered. So if you haven't and you want to attend, please do register. And I can send out the information one more time after this meeting. Kristen's going to talk about the audit, which we thought we would have on the agenda today, and we don't.
Yes, good afternoon. So the fiscal year 2023-24 audit was completed and submitted to the state and First5 California last Thursday, October 31st, the day it was due. And it's my pleasure to announce there were no audit findings. It's a clean audit. Unfortunately, the October 31st submission did not allow sufficient time to review and present the audit to the Financial Planning Committee for approval on October 24th, or include on today's commission meeting agenda. It will be included on our next commission meeting agenda for February. So you'll all have time to review, receive review, and file the audit accordingly. The October 31st yearly audit deadline does make it difficult to present to the commission in November. So for future audits, it would be helpful to have a December meeting. This would give staff a little more breathing room and allow time for Financial Planning Committee to review, as well as the Commission. So the 2025 meeting calendar is item 11 on today's agenda for your review and approval. And that concludes my update.
Thanks. And so the first meeting of 2025 will have the public hearing for the audit as well as the annual report, because the annual report can't be completed until the audit is completed because we use the numbers from the annual report. And yes, we're going to fix that by changing our meeting calendar to allow us to be able to get it all to you in the year, before the year ends. And that concludes my report.
Great. Thank you, Julie. Any questions for our executive director or comments? Seeing none, and I'm not in receipt of any speaker slips. So with that, we will move on to our committee report outs. We'll begin with advisory.
We have Junior Goris joining us.
Good afternoon, Chair Cerna and Commissioners. And congratulations again, Commissioner Hayes. We're going to miss you. The advisory committee met on October 11th, and the committee members dedicated a portion of the meeting remembering Commissioner Steve Wirtz and the professional and personal impact he had on so many. He was a guest at our June meeting, and we were so engaged by his passion for the mission of First5. Members share their memories of working with Commissioner Wirtz and express their admiration for his dedication to improving outcomes for children and families. The other item of discussion was the 2025 long-range agenda. Members brainstormed topics, community presentation, team builder activities, and playing an active role in our Ready work. Our next meeting is scheduled for this Friday, November 8th, and that concludes the advisory committee report.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions from commissioners? All right. Seeing none, no members of the public signed up to speak on this matter. We'll go on to the evaluation report out.
We actually did not have an evaluation meeting since the last commission meeting.
And then with that, we'll move on to financial.
We did have a meeting. We met on October 24th and established a quorum. We entertained nominations and held elections for a new chairperson and vice chair for the committee. Robin Blanks Guster was elected vice chair, and there was no coup or willing takers, so I will continue to serve as the chairperson. The committee also approved its 2025 meeting calendar. Staff provided an update on the fiscal year 23-24 audited financial reports, which you've just heard about. So we will review those at our meeting in January. The financial statements for the first quarter were reviewed and were in line with the budget expectations, and we did not have any comments beyond what was addressed in the report. And finally, Stephanie McLemore-Bray from Touchstone Leadership Group presented on First5's participatory grant-making project and provided an initial report on the first community assembly held on October 23rd. And we understand there are more hot-off-the-press updates coming as number 12 on our agenda today. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Hassett. Any questions, comments? Okay, seeing none. We'll then move on to the Systems Optimization and Sustainability Committee update.
All right, I have that update. We did have a meeting on October 16th, and similar to what was just shared by the Evaluation Committee, Stephanie from Touchstone met with us, and I found it very insightful just to learn about participatory grant making, but understanding what assemblies are and how that comes together and all the ethics and the mindfulness that it takes to put it together, and even how we show up as commissioners in that space or don't show up in that space. It was just enlightening for us. And so I know Stephanie, you're going to share more about the outcomes, so I'm excited to hear about it. And then we also received ready communications from our consultant contract regarding related to our approval. And then we're also continuing to look forward to that work and that journey with engagement of our BIPOC community. And then lastly, we receive an introduction to the work being done through our systems change efforts around the health and hospital systems, and HMA, as I know them from my own work, but it's the Health Management Association, and they do associates, and they do really, really great work. But looking at how that looks around capacity building and streamlining services. So yeah, our next meeting is on December 18th, and that concludes my report.
Thank you for the report. Any questions or comments? All right, see none. Any members of the public sign up to speak?
No.
See none. All right, next item, please.
Item number 9, approval of contract with Jasmine Clark, Public Relations for Racial Equity, Diversity and Inclusion, Website Development, Marketing to BIPOC agencies, and editorial planning in the amount of $31,000 for fiscal year 2024-25.
Our communications director, Erin Maury, is going to take this one.
Good afternoon, Chair Cerna and Commissioners. It is always a delight to be up here to present an item for you today. As part of our strategic plan, one of our 5 areas is our racial equity, focusing on our READY CR work. And we use that acronym a lot, but I always like to say what it means. And it's our racial equity, diversity, inclusion, and cultural responsiveness. So this Ready Communications contract will focus on the CR part, the cultural responsiveness, in 4 key areas: community engagement, website, marketing campaign, and social media editorial calendar. We will be contracting with Jasmine Clark, Public Relations. She currently works with our commission's consultants, Stephanie McLemore-Bray with Touchstone Leadership Group in our audience, and with April Jean with Pure Genius. So what is nice is that there will be a continuity with our messaging, tying it to our Ready Action Plan. And this contract will let the Commission implement a great, effective outreach campaign strategy that will reach our BIPOC audiences, that will share our Ready journey, and it will support that participatory grant-making process that we are currently in. And this concludes my report.
All right, very good. Thank you. This is a non-action item or an action item?
This is a vote item, yep.
This is a public hearing item, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, okay, all right. I will open the public hearing. Is there any member of the public that wishes to comment on this item? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission. Any questions or concerns by commissioners? Seeing none, I entertain a motion.
I'll move the item.
Been moved by Commissioner Gordon.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Katari. Roll call vote, please.
Chair Cerna.
Aye.
Commissioner Wesley.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Gordon.
Aye.
Commissioner Gasirie.
Aye.
Commissioner Katari.
Aye.
And Commissioner Moak.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Very good, thank you. Next item, please.
Item number 10, nominate and appoint 2025 First 5 Sacramento Vice Chair.
Okay. I have a different agenda.
Oh, no.
I have a very different agenda. I don't know what's going on. Okay.
We'll get you a real agenda. That would be helpful.
Thank you. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Julie, would you like to
I'll
tee
kick
this
us
up?
off. Sure. Thanks for rolling with the wrong agenda. You never know until this last item. Okay. So we, every year, at our last meeting of the year, do vote and appoint a vice chair. And as usual, Commissioner Hassett has agreed to step into that role. She hasn't hardly had to work for years because our chair doesn't actually miss these meetings, but she's always been at the standby and ready to help. So she has agreed to do that again, but we also take nominations from the floor if anybody wants. Commissioner Hassett has let me know if anybody would like this role, she would be happy to share it with somebody. But if there are no takers, she would step up to the plate.
Oh, the rush to the microphones is impressive here. So I'll go ahead and nominate Commissioner Hassett. Ask for a second on that.
And you need a second? I'll gladly second that.
All right. The nomination has been moved and seconded, so we will have, if there's no further comment or question, no public comment, a roll call vote, please.
Chair Serna.
Aye.
Commissioner Wesley.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Gordon.
Aye.
Commissioner Gasiria.
Aye.
Commissioner Katari.
Aye.
And Commissioner Moak.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Congratulations, Beth.
You ran a great campaign.
Right. All right. Our next item, please.
Item number 11, approve 2025 meeting calendar.
Great. So in your packet, you have the calendar on one side and the long-range calendar with the items that we know we will be discussing in 2025 already listed in there. I did want to draw your attention. All of the first Mondays of the month are on the calendar, but the green highlighted ones are the actual meetings. And once it's approved, then early next week, you'll get calendar invites sent to your email for all the meetings for 2025. And of course, the long-range calendar does evolve as the year comes about. I will say that we kept our additional meeting. We usually meet 6 to 7 times per year, every other month. And we did keep the March meeting in for 2025, so a 7th meeting, because we are anticipating potentially having to come to you around the participatory grant making. That's our new thing for next year, just like we sort of had to keep them in this current year for our regular grant making cycle. So if there's a reason to not have it, we'll let you know and cancel. But right now, we've got 7 meetings.
All right, very good. Any questions? The chair will go ahead and move approval of the 2025 meeting calendars. Or second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Chair Serna.
Aye.
Commissioner Wesley.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Gordon.
Aye.
Commissioner Gasiria.
Aye.
Commissioner Katari.
Aye.
Commissioner Moak.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay, very good. And for the record, there was no one signed up to speak on that, right? Okay, very good. All right. Next item, please.
Item number 12, presentation, update on participatory grant making for the Racial Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Funding Pathway.
Great. And we'll welcome Stephanie McElmore-Bray to give us an update.
Hello, I'm back. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Chair Cerna and commissioners, I'm really excited to be here again to share with you a high-level report on our participatory grant-making process. How do I?
Bottom is back.
Okay. How do I get it to turn on?
It's only showing on this
Oh, it's
one
only
for
on
some
this screen.
reason.
Sorry, that one's broken.
Trick me. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm really excited to give you an update on the Phase 1 community engagement for our participatory grant-making process. Whoa. And so as you heard from me in previous presentations, there are 2 work streams associated with this process. The first is our community engagement, which is a community design process for identifying the deliberative panel that will decide which organizations receive funding. And then the second phase, of course, is the participatory grant making itself, which will convene that panel to discuss and award the grants based on an invitation process that they design. Okay, and so I just wanted to reiterate the Phase 1 timeline. And so we began our outreach strategy that we developed for our community assemblies, recognizing that it was very important for us to really target those organizations that had not received funding from First5, that were BIPOC-led and serving. And so we did a lot of work to build out what we think is a really strong list. We had over 270 organizations that we identified, and we gathered that information from a variety of sources, which I'll get into later. And then the assemblies themselves took place. In December, early December, we will be issuing a community engagement report that will include all of the data we collected from the assemblies, as well as the evaluation forms, because we're trying to figure out a couple of things. One, how would communities design a process for selecting a panel? But 2, what was the impact of that process itself, right? What will we learn from them around how effective that was as a community engagement strategy? So we did an evaluation, which I'll talk a little bit about. I'm trying not to get ahead of myself. I'm so excited about what we did and what we learned. So let me slow down. And then for the rest of December, and probably largely January, we'll be recruiting the panel and onboarding them to prepare for the task ahead. So how do we do it? Well, we designed a very simple flyer, which you see here. And we thought it important to be very clear about what the purpose of the assemblies were. We didn't want people to get confused and think they were going to come and decide who gets $4 million. So we had to be very intentional in our language, and we included minimal language about the actual money being given away part, because we just wanted to make sure people understood what we were asking of them. We had 2 assemblies. One was virtual and one was in person. The in-person one was October 23rd. And then we had a very simple registration form where we were able to gather some key data on who folks were, and we had criteria that they could follow to determine whether or not they were even eligible to participate. We also talked about the stipend, the child care, we had that available, and we also provided dinner to them. So some key activities in terms of how we built out the list and did the outreach. And so we used First5's CBO list, which we edited to reach the targeted audience based on what we knew, because there wasn't a lot of demographic information, but because of our knowledge of the nonprofits, we were able to make some key assumptions. There were members on my team who were very much knowledgeable of those organizations that are BIPOC-led and serving. And if there were questions, we did some research to really strengthen the list and make sure that we were reaching the people that we wanted and needed to reach. We also included our PLTI cohorts. And then we also had contacts into those smaller, grassroots, no staff, boots on the ground folks. We really did. We also made the registration form available in English and Spanish. And then we did follow-ups. We did several, so First5, their team, they did the initial email. And then we did follow-ups, and we tracked all of the registrations. And we looked at the demographics, we looked at who was attending, we looked at neighborhoods, because we really wanted to make sure that there was representation. And then we had an evaluation forum at the end of the session, each session, and we compensated folks. And so we had a total of 83 registrants. And so our goal was to get 15% of the 270 or so organizations. And so we exceeded that. We were pretty excited about that. But of course, it comes down to who actually attends, right? But we were still very pleased. We had a total of 60, is that right? Yes, folks who attended. The demographics, as you can see, 78% were from BIPOC-led organizations. And just to give you a sense, too, let me go a little bit deeper. We had 14 racial and ethnic identities that attended, that self-identified, if you will. Nearly half were African American. About 16% were white. And then 13% were Latino, and 13% were identified as mixed race. And then the rest were smaller contingents of ethnicities. We had 7 non-registrants that attended in person because folks brought other people with them. And we let them in. We weren't going to turn them away. We also had, 78% were from BIPOC-led organizations, 87% were BIPOC serving, and that's an important distinction. And then we had representation, as you can see here. What was interesting is we had a small but vocal group of folks who were Middle Eastern. And that was really important. They represented the immigrant and refugee communities. And so it was very important to hear from them. We had 10% were businesses, 72% were community-based organizations, no surprise there, and 10% were community members. And then the neighborhoods represented, as you could see, North Sacramento, South Sac, North Highlands, Rancho Cordova, and Arden Arcade. And that also included some folks from just kind of the core of Sacramento. And it was interesting because there were a couple of areas that we really wanted and needed to target. We did reach out to Galt. And we did reach out to other organizations in the northern part of the county who did respond and did send folks. And we talked with First5, too, around, what are the neighborhoods where you're not really getting the kind of engagement? And so they shared that with us, and we did even more targeted outreach and called in favors and talked to our friends and tried to encourage folks to attend. And so the agenda, we first of all, we thought it important, and we made this pivot because it was an aha moment for us and our team. If we wanted to get the most authentic feedback, it was important not to have any First5 people there because of the perceived power dynamic. We didn't want people coming into the room thinking, well, if there's First5 people here and we say some things they don't like, will we not have an opportunity to participate any further? And that served us well because we got some some interesting feedback. But we started with why we were there, and then what we wanted to accomplish, how we would do it. And then we established group agreements because we thought it important to make sure that folks who had a voice could bring it into the room. And so those agreements were designed by the group, like, step in or step back, right? Give people an opportunity to speak, raise your hand, right? All the things, right? But it was very important for us to establish that, for them to establish that. And then how did we get here? And so I gave a very brief explanation of why we were asking them to come. And it was less about, we have this money, we have to give away, but it was more about, you have an opportunity to design a process, right, that is going to be fair and equitable. And that's really what we homed in on. And then we had a set of probing questions that we asked them to help guide the discussions that they would have in their small groups. We wanted to know, for example, what should be the profile of folks who participate on this panel? And how are you thinking about that? What are some concerns that you have about this, now that you know what you know about what the county is trying to do and what First 5 Commission specifically is trying to do around racial equity? What things come to mind? And so we spent some time really helping folks become comfortable with saying the things that they really wanted to say and that we really needed to hear. We then had group breakouts. And so we talked about and asked them about what that key criteria should be for folks who serve on the panel. Where should we look for them? What should be the sources that we use to recruit them? What messages should we use? What kind of language should we be speaking to encourage people to participate? And that really honored this community design process. Who should be the messengers? Who should be the ones to be speaking on behalf of this process? Who are those trusted voices in the community? And then what else comes to mind? And we really felt it important to give them that space to ask any questions that we didn't cover for them. And so this is just a snapshot, and it's cut off for a reason. We just wanted to give you a sense, but you'll get a much deeper analysis once we issue the report. But we had someone there taking pictures of folks who didn't mind being photographed so that you can see what happened. And it was a pretty great group. So here are some high-level themes that came out of it. And again, these are kind of back of the envelope. We glanced at the evaluation forms, but we haven't really dug into the data yet. There was a lot of excitement in the room. They were excited about the fairness aspect of it, that it wasn't just another way that the county was going to give the money without having input from the community. And that shift in power. And I have to say, it took a minute for them to really step into that. And I don't know whether it's because of skepticism or I don't know what it was, but it took a minute for them to be comfortable with the idea that, yes, you're going to be heard. We're going to listen to you, and we're going to, you tell us what you want us to know. Sustainability, that was interesting. They were like, is $4 million really enough to have a lasting impact? And that was like, whoa, okay, all right. They also asked if the funding can be used to put a system in place to apply for more funding. And so that kind of speaks to this idea of capacity building, right? Which was really, really important for us to hear. Accessibility. Can we make sure that the panel makes the application easy for less established organizations to apply? And I'll describe how they define that in a second. Define words like BIPOC. So we made some really interesting assumptions that everybody knows what BIPOC means. That's not true, right? But the bigger issue is making sure that the language you use is accessible and how you describe things. Make the panel meeting places easy for folks to get to. right? And pay people. Now, this is interesting to me because there were a number of people who came in, and then at the very end, when we asked them to fill out their evaluation form and tell us how they wanted to be compensated, they were like, oh, we're getting paid for this? Even though we were very clear about that. But what that said to me was they were there because they had something to say. And it was less about being compensated and more about saying to the commission, this is what y'all need to do. And so that was really interesting to all of us. And we even had to follow up with people. It's like, well, you didn't pick anything, right? We had to send emails to some folks, or it wasn't clear, or we had to work through that. And then representation. They didn't want the funding to go to the same people or usual suspects. And so let me go back and define less established organizations to apply. And so what that meant was, and it wasn't what I thought it was, but there were so many like purely grassroots organizations that were volunteer run. And to them, a more established organization was one that had staff. It could have had one staff. It wasn't necessarily, the budget or how much money they had, but it was really more about the capacity. That's what it was for them. Because I asked, I said, well, what do you mean? Well, organizations that have like a staff person or whatever, because so many of them, they really were truly grassroots, folks that saw a need and organized themselves and just went out and did it, right? And just bootstrapped it the best way that they could. And so boots on the ground organizations need to get the money, not just administrative support. So again, that's another dig into, okay, you can give these organizations that have staff, give them unrestricted money, that's great. But what about those of us that don't have staff? They all felt very strongly that the panel members should have lived experience and be comfortable engaging with the communities they are funding. And one person even said, can they even get like bias training or something? And it's like, oh, okay. And then who is BIPOC, right? And so this was really important too, because they made the case that, especially for organizations that are not BIPOC led, but are BIPOC serving and have BIPOC staff, right? It doesn't always have to be the leader. What if it's somebody within the organization that has direct engagement with the target population? And they are culturally responsive and culturally concordant. Can it be those people and not just the executive director or whoever the leader is? And then overwhelmingly, they talked about having young people on this panel. And in particular, those who have responsibility for their siblings who are 0 to 5. Because what we heard is that oftentimes they step in the gap if their parent or parents are working. So that was fascinating. And I was like, okay.
Kids raising kids.
Yeah. Well, that's all you get today. So here's what's next. And we did encourage folks to sign up to come today if they wanted to speak to you about what they experienced. But I also acknowledge these folks work. They can't come out. But we did let them know if they wanted to please come out and speak to you all. And maybe they will at some point. I anticipate the panel certainly will. But, so what's next is, we've promised that we will deliver a report early December. And we will also share it with those who participated in the process. We will also include recommendations on how to recruit the deliberative panel based on what we heard from the community. And then we will share that, and we will work with the staff to develop a process and a rubric for how we'll recruit those folks. And then we'll go to work. Another interesting thing that came out, and I'm sorry I forgot this because it got me very excited. One of the questions that came out around the panel itself and how they'll not just organize themselves, but how they'll actually go through the deliberation process. One of the questions was, well, will they be able to go on site visits to see these organizations in action? And I'm like, well, that's for them to decide. It's a great idea, and we'll make sure that we pass that along. But, again, the community, they really stepped up, and they really, spoke their truth, and they were very excited about it. And our early review of the evaluations is that it was very well received, the process itself. People felt heard, they felt empowered, and they want to stay involved. So that's it. Any questions?
Thank you for the presentation. I have Commissioner Hassett in the queue.
I thank you for that. I just love how intentional the whole process was. Every little thing to how you talk about it, how you ask for input. We've had some struggles on the prevention cabinet in getting communities to engage, and we can get so up in our heads and miss how you really do it right and well. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. And I want to, again, acknowledge the First 5 team. They have been such wonderful partners. And again, I can't emphasize enough how important the Ready CR journey has been for them in this process and prepared them for this. And so I continue to be amazed by them as a team, their creativity, their energy, and their excitement around this process. And so kudos to them as well. And I also have a wonderful team working with me on this too.
Commissioner Wesley.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, gotta get it together. Haven't slept, you guys. I am really excited about the youth part because I'm just thinking about how communities of color, BIPOC communities, we are so family oriented and so knitted together that if you're older youth who can help with the younger siblings, we do that. And I was that teenager, but I was wondering, when we start thinking about recruitment of youth, if that we go in that direction, because they do have a huge role in the family. What age are we looking at? What do we, look at going to a particular high school in each of these communities to try to recruit from? But anyway, I'm just so interested in that because of how they're already starting to contribute to our world, and how the statement that was made earlier with you, Michelle, how the strengthening of the family, of the community starts with the family. I think it was our chair who said that. So sometimes it's those youth who help. I started at age 10 helping to care for my younger siblings. It's 7 of us. So, and I did it all the way. To this day, I still do it. But it's lifelong, so it starts early. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great question, too. So I was just a note taker in one of the breakout groups, but we had several. And so there was a lot of information that we gathered. And so I'll be interested in that, too.
Commissioner Gross.
First, to piggyback on that, I also love the inclusion of youth because it becomes an opportunity for them to start getting involved, to start understanding that they can show up and talk to us, and it's not scary. And we're seeing a lot of the neighborhood groups, the neighborhood associations include a youth member on their boards, and Sac City School District has a youth member on their school board, and I think it's just so incredible for kids to have those opportunities. And then also, I love that First 5 compensates people for showing up. I just want to highlight that for all of us, that I have 4 kids, 10 and under, and this is the only place that we go, anything that's First 5, where there's dinner, childcare, and sometimes a little token. Our school board members aren't getting that. Our, PTA, when you say, how do we get more people involved at school? Everyone says, can you provide childcare? Can you somehow help me with dinner? And the answer is always no. But at First 5, it starts with that. And so I love also that the people you talked to said, hey, but then when we get this panel together, can they also be compensated for their work? Because it's valuable work, and it shows that we're valuing them, and I love that about this place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other comments? I just have one question. You mentioned at the beginning of the presentation that there was some nervousness or concern, I guess, expressed by participants early about having First 5 in the room. Hopefully you've shared what you believe that's about one-on-one with at least our executive director, so that we can internalize that and understand maybe both the real and perceived nature of what we do and how we do it, and use that as a feedback loop to do better.
Yeah, and let me qualify that a little bit. Because I participated in the CBO landscape analysis, I think the sentiment they were bringing in wasn't specific necessarily to First 5. I think it was really more about,
authority.
The authority and that power, right? And so people came in. I mean, they were still skeptical because it's the county, right? And I know Siobhan's shaking her head, but yeah. And so they still came in a little skeptical, but I have to say it faded very quickly.
Good.
It really did. And so again, you guys, this commission is so much further along in terms of building that trust. And I can't tell you how many smiles and how many thank yous and how many, people were just, they were over the moon and really appreciative. And so, I think there's still some work to be done around that. But again, you guys are leading the way. You really are. I couldn't tell you how many folks said, well, the county, they don't do this. It's like, well, First 5 is doing it, right? And is anybody else in the county doing it? Well, not that I'm aware of, but First 5 is doing it. And they were just like, well, good for them. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Okay, no action on this. This is a presentation only. Thank you again, and we look forward to future updates. All right, we are on to the last item on today's agenda, which is comments from commission members. Any comments? Seeing none. All right, I want to thank everyone for your participation again to today's commission meeting. And again, congratulate Commissioner Calles on her pending retirement. And we are definitely going to miss you. So if there's no further business before this commission, we are adjourned.